Hey guys, welcome to the Covert Historian, where every week we uncover the weirdest, funniest, and most unexpected facts from the history. History isn't just about dates and wars, it's full of bizarre, hidden gems that will blow your mind. In the first episode of the Covert Historian, we are diving into the life of one of the most iconic figures in history, Abraham Lincoln. Sure, you know him as the man who abolished slavery and led the country through the Civil War. But there's so much more to this remarkable man than meets the eye. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a one-room log cabin in Kentucky. He grew up in humble beginnings with limited formal education. Despite this, Lincoln became one of the most influential presidents in US history. But did you know he had a weirdly high-pitched voice? Or that he was a champion wrestler? Buckle up, because we are about to unveil some strange, funny, and unknown facts about Honest Abe. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was the first US president to have a beard? But here's the kicker. He grew it because an 11-year-old girl wrote him a letter saying he'd look better with one. Grace Biddle suggested that Lincoln would look more distinguished with facial hair. Lincoln took her advice and boom, the iconic look was born. You will be amazed to know that Lincoln was a skilled wrestler. In his youth, he only lost one match out of 300. They even made him an honorary member of the Wrestling Hall of Fame. And let's not forget, he once challenged an entire crowd after winning a match. He said, "I am the big buck of this lick. If any of you want to try it, come on and wet your horns." No one dared. Fun fact, Abraham Lincoln was the tallest US president, standing at 6 feet 4 inches. That's the same height as an NBA player today. This made him stand out, literally, at a time when the average man was just 5 feet 6 inches tall. Ever wondered what Lincoln kept inside his iconic tall hat? Notes, letters, and even important government documents. His hat was basically his briefcase. Imagine pulling out an executive order from your hat instead of a rabbit. That's some real presidential magic. Lincoln was a loving father, but his kids took full advantage of his soft heart. They used to ride on his back like a horse around the White House. Safe to say, Lincoln was the most fun-loving president kids could ask for. You won't believe this, but Lincoln suffered from severe depression. Back then it was called melancholy. His friends often took away his knives to keep him safe. Guess who ran against Lincoln in an election? His own former babysitter. That's like running against your old kindergarten teacher for class president. Lincoln was also the only US president to hold a patent. He invented a device to lift boats over obstacles in shallow water. Unfortunately, it was never built, but hey, that's still cooler than most of us can claim. Did you know that Lincoln created the Secret Service on the day of his assassination? Ironically, the Secret Service wasn't originally intended to protect the president. Its primary purpose was to combat counterfeit currency. It wasn't until 1901 that the Secret Services started protecting presidents. Lincoln was mostly self-educated. He read every book he could get his hands on, and once walked 20 miles just to borrow one. He also owned a newspaper for a short time, though it wasn't a big success. Maybe he should have started a YouTube channel instead. You will be surprised to know that Lincoln had a high-pitched, quiet, squeaky voice, not the deep, commanding tone most people imagine. Before politics, Lincoln was a lawyer. And his nickname? Honest Abe, because he once advised a client to settle instead of paying him. It is said that Lincoln dreamt of his own assassination just days before it happened. Talk about eerie premonitions. Tragically, Lincoln's life was cut short on April 14, 1865. He was assassinated by John Wilkes at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. The nation mourned the loss of a great leader and a compassionate human being. Oh, and one last fun fact, there's a book and movie called Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Not historical, but totally entertaining. So, which of these facts shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Covert Historian for more hidden gems from history. Until next time, keep uncovering the past.